Hello and welcome to Cascade High School in Clayton, Indiana. My name is Lec Zorn and I'll be bringing you all the action as your Cascade Cadets challenge the Cloverdale Clovers in the second game of a boys-girls varsity basketball doubleheader. Well, earlier this evening, your Lady Cadets played probably their best game of the season, losing to the 10th-ranked Lady Clovers by a score of only 65-59. And now it's time for the boys' teams from those respective schools to play. Well, a little over halfway through the regular season, your relatively young cadets enter this game with a record of only 3-9 and have lost 6 of their last 7 games. But all of those losses came to teams from higher classes, and 3 of those losses came to ranked teams. Still, despite the mitigating circumstances, it would be a big psychological boost for these kids to get several wins here in the last 6 weeks of the regular season and build momentum as they head into an unusually balanced sectional that all 6 teams have at least a fairly realistic chance to win. Now, Cascade is led in scoring by 6'1" junior Mason Tharp, who's having a breakthrough season, averaging 12 points plus 4.4 rebounds and a team-high 2.5 steals per game. Close behind is 6'8" senior Benson Walker, who's also having a breakthrough season, having established himself as a solid inside presence in the absence of 2 starters from last season, center Dalton DuBois, who graduated and is now playing at Anderson University, and power forward Ross Stevenson, who is expected to miss this entire season because of injury. Walker has taken advantage of his height over the last few weeks and averages 11.5 points and 5.2 rebounds per game, and the 4 highest scoring games of his career have come in the last 8 games. However, beyond those 2 double-figure scores, the Cadets have struggled to get points on the board. Their third leading scorer, 5'8" sophomore Stephen Alderson, averages 4.7 points per game, while 6'2" senior Cameron Minter averages 4.5 points and 4 rebounds per game, and 5'9" senior Bryson Phillips averages 3.4 points and a team-high 4.7 assists per game to round out the starting lineup. Off the bench, 5'10" junior football star A.J. Sanders, despite no previous varsity experience, has become a surprisingly effective plugger off the bench and averages 4.2 points and 3.6 rebounds a game. Now, Cascade's opponent tonight is the Cloverdale Clovers, who've won the sectional championship the last 4 seasons with the top scoring duo in state history, but are now going through a painful rebuilding process. 2 seasons ago, the Clovers lost Cooper Neese, the 9th leading scorer in state history, who's now playing for Indiana State. And last season, they lost Jalen Moore, the 11th leading scorer in state history, who's now playing at Utah State. Cloverdale is off to a 3-9 start this season, but they appear to have a player set to become the school's next mega scorer. 6'1" freshman Kyle Thomas leads the team in scoring with 14.8 points per game and in assists with 3.2 per game, as well as in steals with 1.5 per game. 6'3" senior Jake Wilkes is arguably the team's best overall player, averaging 11.8 points and 8.3 rebounds per game. In addition, 5'10" sophomore Nolan Kelly averages 8.7 points per game. 5'10" senior Parker Watts averages 8.4 points per game while hitting 25 for 57 on 3-point field goal attempts. That's 44%. And 5'10" senior Jake Kelly averages 4.4 points per game. Cascade's head coach is Chris DuBois, who's 128 and 195 in his 15th season with the Cadets. He won sectional championships with the school in 2005 and 2006. Cloverdale's head coach is Patrick Rady, who's 64 and 31 in his 4th season with the Clovers and 105 and 101 in his 9th season overall. He previously served as the head coach from 2003 to 2008 at Southwestern High School in Hanover, Indiana. Well, at this time, we'll take a short break for a few words from our sponsors, and then we'll be back with the opening tip-off. Cascade Cloverdale coming at you live. Next. The Cascade High School Athletic Department simply would not be able to operate without the financial support of our business partners. We would like to recognize and thank them for their generosity. The official health provider to the Cadets, Hendricks Regional Health, Diamond Partners, Bestway Drywall, and North Salem State Bank, Platinum Partners, Allen Irrigation Company, CJ's Pizza, Dunn Insurance Agency, Jill and Ian Bell's Expert Realtors.net, and Global Construction Management, Silver Partners Electric Plus, Bassett Services Heating and Cooling, and Clean Sensation Auto Detail, and Bronze Partner Endeavor Communications. Thank you, business partners. Your support of the student athletes of Cascade High School is greatly appreciated. Well, back here at Clayton, we're just a few minutes away from tip-off. We've got a great crowd here tonight, probably the biggest crowd that we've gotten for a Cascade game all season. Now, obviously, we had a lot of people crowd into this gym over 4 days and 14 games last week for the county tournament. But as far as for Cascade events only, this is probably the biggest event that we've had. I mean, it looks like, we might get somewhere around half capacity here tonight, which means we'd have a little over 1,000 people crammed into this gym. Cloverdale has a very strong fan base, as they should, the kind of success that the program has had in recent years. With, like I said, in 3 of the last 4 years, they had the top scoring duo in state history. Jalen Moore was still there last year, but he and Cooper Neese were together the 3 years before that, both of them now playing Division I college basketball. Neese at Indiana State and Moore at Utah State. And as I was saying earlier, Moore only 5'9". When the first digit of your height starts with a 5, I just think there's so many people, so many scouts and coaches who at least subconsciously just dismiss you right off the bat. And, Moore, at 5'9", still playing Division I ball, but, at a pretty mid-level Division I school. And I think had he been, say 6'3", I think, he would have been super hot property. Nevertheless, glad to see that young man playing Division I ball, and it was certainly a pleasure to commentate him, even though, he commentated one of my biggest heartbreaks as a commentator when Cloverdale beat when Cloverdale beat us at the buzzer and Moore hit a layup, for the winning points a couple of years ago. Although, I already have so many great memories of Cloverdale, Cloverdale Cascade games, both in football and in basketball. The girls, we just, gave the girls a tough fight tonight. We beat them the last 2 years. And I know Tori Combs personally, is glad to get the Cascade monkey off her back after what, we did to her the last couple of years. So that lady did get to beat Cascade before she heads off to college next season. However, we could, very well get a rematch with Cloverdale in the sectional, and I really hope we do now, especially having just, played them so close, losing by only 6. So anyway, if you missed the girls' game, it was a good one, probably our best game of the season. If you're accustomed to hearing me commentate, you probably know you've probably picked up how depressed I've been during a lot of the girls' broadcasts this season. But that was not the case tonight. I really felt good about their performance, and I think it sets us up to finish the season strong and be very good next season when we're going to have all 5 starters back. But first, we got a boys' game to play tonight, and it's a game in which we're going to have a very good shot to win. Cascade and Cloverdale, they both enter the game with a record of 3-9, and as they're geographically close and conference rivals here in the Western Indiana Conference, not surprisingly, we have a lot of common opponents, 6 to be exact, and the same teams that there are no teams who we beat Cloverdale or vice versa. For all our common opponents, either Cascade and Cloverdale have both beaten that team or lost to that team. However, Cascade's margins for the most part were closer. Edgewood beat us by 26, but Edgewood beat us by 26, but they beat Cloverdale by 41. We beat Southmont by 34, but Cloverdale only beat Southmont by 10. Monrovia was one team that Cloverdale had more success against. They beat Monrovia beat us by 29, but only beat Cloverdale by 13. We beat Brown County by 18. Brown County just 4 points less. Cloverdale beat Brown County by only 14, just four fewer points than we beat Brown County by. Sorry about the confusion when I worded that there. And then Owen Valley beat us by only 6 while beating Cloverdale by 12. And finally, Greencastle was another team that was a little more Greencastle was a team that Cloverdale had a little more success against. Greencastle beat us by 14, but only beat Cloverdale by 9. So overall, Cascade having slightly more success against our common opponents, but it should be a very competitive game tonight. And taking a look at the Cloverdale roster, they don't have real good size. Not that we do, but we do have Benson Walker, who's 6'8", whereas Cloverdale's tallest players are 6'3". Those are Wilkes and Sims. So if Walker does what he's been doing a lot of the season, well, the last several games at least, and starts playing like he's 6'8", and keep in mind that the 4 top scoring games of his career have come in his last 8 games, then I think we're going to have a very good shot to pull this out today and get back on track after losing 6 of our last 7. 10 games left to play in the regular season out of 22. So now Walker jumping up against Wilkes, and we got a whistle there on the tip. So now they're going to re-jump it. And Walker actually misses it the first time, but then gets it on the second swat. So now handling the ball and now the ball is thrown out of bounds to Cloverdale 12 seconds into the game, so still no score here in the early going. Cascade played very well in the girls' game, losing by only 5 to the number 10 ranked team in their class. So now Wilkes with the ball. Nice underhanded move, and he puts it in. So Wilkes opens the scoring here about 25 seconds into the game, and it's a 2-0 Cloverdale lead. Both of these teams coming into the game at 3-9. This is their last season for the foreseeable future as conference rivals. Cascade will be moving to the Indiana Crossroads Conference next season. However, they are keeping a nice move there by A.J. Sanders there. Getting a start tonight after some good games off the bench. And now bank shot by Wilkes at the other end. No good, gets his own rebound. And now he throws it back out, but we got a foul there. He was trying to connect with Kyle Thomas there, a sharp shooting 6'1" freshman who looks like he's going to be the next big mega scorer there at Cloverdale. And now there he does shoot it on the inbounds pass, in and out, however, on the three-pointer. So now Tharp brings it up. 2-2 in the early going. And now a jump shot in the lane by Tharp. No good. Rebound by Wilkes. And he gives it up to Thomas, who pulls up and shoots the 3. No good off the back of the rim. Rebound there by Tharp. And now he is sloppy there on the ball handling. Got a loose ball, and now we've got a couple of guys who are on the ground fighting over it. It was Tharp and let's see, Nolan Kelly, a 6-foot sophomore for the Clovers. .6:20 to go. But yeah, it's extraordinary. And now another three-point attempt, no good. So Cloverdale relentless at the three-point shooting already, and the girls were to some extent as well. So now Tharp into the lane, and we got a collision here and a whistle with 6:04 to go. 2-2 your score. Second game of boys-girls varsity doubleheader, our fifth and last doubleheader of the season. Hopefully we'll have a lot more for you in future seasons. They're just so much fun, and they draw such great crowds. First free throw by Tharp is good, so the leading scorer on the season gets his first points tonight. Tharp averaging 12 a game, almost tripling his average from last season. Second free throw is up, no good off the back of the rim. However, the rebounder by Walker puts it up and in. Yes. So Benson Walker with his first points, and it's a 5-2 Cascade lead. So the Cadets have, and now a fight over the loose ball, jump ball, possession arrow favors Cascade. So nice job recovering after Cloverdale jumped off to that 2-0 lead there. 8:05 your time of day. Once again, tomorrow's girls' game is postponed until Monday at the special start time of 6 with only a varsity game, no JV. It's great to see that, and while Cloverdale does have, I'd say, probably a couple hundred fans here tonight, the bulk of these fans are Cascade fans, and my heart goes out to all these kids, to all these fans who are supporting these kids who are, having rough seasons. Only 3 wins apiece for the boys and girls. And now a drive to the basket by Phillips. No good. Sanders the rebound, puts it up, and he draws the foul. A.J. Sanders, 5'10", which is my height, and I hope if I played basketball, I'd have the courage to get in there and bang with these big guys. So A.J. going to the free throw line. The foul on Jake Kelly, his first, team second. First free throw by Sanders is good. He has 3 points to lead the Cadets. 6-2 the score. 5:31 to go here in the first quarter at Clayton. Second free throw by Sanders, up and good. He's got 4. So now Kelly brings it up for the Clovers, double teamed. So nice to see the effort by Cascade. Probably very inspired by the girls' excellent performance in their game tonight. That really, like I said, I think sets up the Lady Cadets up to finish the season very strong. Now fakes the 3. No good there. Rebound by Sanders. And pitches across the court to Phillips. Now out to now Sanders for 3. No good, just grazes the front of the rim, but Walker gets it and it's stripped away, however. He looked like he didn't see Thomas coming, so the freshman taking it from the senior. Now Thomas, no good on the trying to bake it in there, and Walker comes away with the rebound, gives it up to Tharp. So fast-paced game so far, Cascade with a 7-2 lead. Three-pointer there by Alderson, no good. Walker tries to save it. It's knocked out of bounds. Oh, yeah, he managed to throw it in off of Wilkes. So Cascade has the ball with 4:27 to go here and a 7-2 lead here in the first quarter. And now Walker sitting down for the first time in this game. It's being replaced by 6'5" junior Gavin Hetler, who's likely to be the go-to man in the middle next season. So Tharp now across court to Phillips for 3. No good. Rebound by Wilkes. 4:11 to go here in the first quarter. Now pitches down court. Cloverdale, and I'll tell you what the fact that they've got a freshman averaging 14 points a game is a tribute to the kind of system that they have that allows players to thrive offensively. They're in a nice block there out of bounds on that shot from the corner by Wilkes. And yeah, that was A.J. Sanders. And nice to see the 5'10" Sanders blocking the 6'3" Wilkes. And now Cloverdale takes a timeout with 3:48 to go here in the first quarter at Clayton. So things going very well here tonight. And while as the girls lost, we're not going to be able to sweep Cloverdale, nevertheless, we are going to be in a position to go home with our heads up, because the Lady Cadets played a very good game against probably one of their 3 or so toughest opponents of the season so far, and a sectional rival. And now the boys off to a 7-2 lead here. And I'll tell you, I really hope that that we win this game tonight, because I'm on an 8 or 9 game losing streak as a commentator. It all started back on our Friday, December the 7th. The girls beat Edgewood in the first game of the doubleheader. Then the boys lost the second game. Then the next night the boys lost to Danville. Then the next Tuesday the girls lost to Monrovia. Then the next Friday the boys and girls both lost to Owen Valley. Then the next Tuesday, December 18th, the boys lost to Greencastle. That was followed by the girls losing to South Dearborn on December 29th. And then the boys and girls both losing to Plainfield in the county tournament a week ago Wednesday. And finally, the girls losing to Cloverdale tonight. So I underestimated myself. I'm on a 10-game personal losing streak as a commentator, so I'm really hoping that will end tonight. So now a block there by Hetler. So now down to Tharp at the free throw line. Pitches over to Sanders at the right perimeter. Now across court to Phillips. Brings it back out. 3:18 to go. Cascade a 7-2 lead early going. Both teams at 3 and 9. Now Sanders fakes a three. Now over to Tharp for three in the corner, and he hits it. So Mason Tharp with 4 points. He and Sanders tying for the team lead now, and it's a 10-0 run by Cascade. They lead 10-2, 3 minutes to go here in the first quarter. So now fake on the three, drive to the basket there by Kelly, and it's blocked by Sanders. So Sanders, the 5'10 Sanders with 2 blocks here in the first quarter. However, Wilkes does put it back in to into the drought, and it's a 10-4 lead for Cascade. Now 2:42 to go. So now Sanders nearly loses control, but he pitches inside. Now pitches out to Sanders for three. No good. I'm sorry, that was Tharp, excuse me. But now Wilkes, and now we got a collision there. Phillips was, I think that was a little bit of a foolish foul there by Phillips on the reach-in. That's Phillips' first, team third, and even, 2:20 to go. Now a lot of substitutions for Cascade. Sanders and Hetler sitting down, Walker and Dane Dubois, a sophomore, coming in. And now a three-pointer, air ball, and it goes out of bounds to Cascade. 2:08 to go. So now Phillips with the ball. And now to a wide open a Walker who lays it in. So Walker with 4. He, Sanders, and Tharp have 4 apiece, and it's a 12-4 lead for Cascade. 1:45 to go here in the first quarter, but now Wilkes gets open, lays it in, and he hits it, and he's fouled. Wilkes with all 6 Cloverdale points. He's keeping them in the game. Wilkes, he's second on the team in scoring, probably their best overall player, averaging 11.8 points and 8.3 rebounds a game. He's going to the free throw line now to complete the three-point play. His first one is up and good. So Wilkes, the score's Cascade 12, Wilkes 7. And now Dubois at the ball. He feeds Hetler. And now it's stolen away there by Kelly. So 1:27 to go now. And fakes on a three. Now pitches over to Wilkes for 3. No good off the back of the rim. Rebounded by Hetler. And now a three-pointer by Tharp. No good. Rebound there by Kyle Thomas, the very promising freshman who leads the team in scoring. Now coming off a pick there, Kelly set a pick there for Jake, and now a three-pointer there, no good from the corner by Nolan Kelly. I'll try to remember to say the first name of the 2 Kellys. And now nice move there by Tharp. He looked like he was going to pass it, took the shot himself, no good, however. And now drive to the, looks like I think he might have gotten away with a push-off there. That was Kyle Thomas, the team's leading scorer on the season. The very promising freshman, averaging 14.8 a game. He gets his first points there tonight, cutting the lead to 12-9. So suddenly Cloverdale on a 7-2 run to get back in this game after Cascade was up. After Cascade had a Cloverdale on a 7-2 run after Cascade had a 10-2 lead. And now they got a push off there against Alderson. 18 seconds to go. So it's now a one-possession game. Both teams coming in at 3-9, having played, having done about equally well, roughly, against similar opponents. Cascade doing a little better. So now drive to the basket, puts it up off the glass. He hits it, and he's fouled. That was Kyle Thomas. So now, after Wilkes gets the first 7 points for Cloverdale, now Thomas answers with 4 of his own, and with 1.9 seconds to go, he goes to the free throw line. If he hits it, amazingly, we will be tied after Cascade led by 8. He hit it, so we are tied. And Cascade, a long shot by Phillips, not even close. So Wild and Woolly first quarter here at Cascade in the second game of our doubleheader. After one quarter of play, your score, Cascade 12, Cloverdale 12. We'll be back after these words from our sponsors on audiosportsonline.com. The Cascade High School Athletic Department simply would not be able to operate without the financial support of our business partners. We would like to recognize and thank them for their generosity. The official health provider to the cadets, Hendricks Regional Health, Diamond Partners, Bestway Drywall, the North Salem State Bank, Platinum Partners, Allen Irrigation Company, CJ's Pizza, Dunn Insurance Agency, Jill and Ian Bell's ExpertRealtors.net, and Global Construction Management, Silver Partners Electric Plus, Bassett Services Heating and Cooling, and Clean Sensation Auto Detail, and Bronze Partner Endeavor Communications. Thank you, business partners. Your support of the student athletes of Cascade High School is greatly appreciated. Well, back here at Clayton, we're about to start the second quarter, and in a fairly odd turn of events, the game has been tied at the end of the first quarter in each of our two games tonight. In the girls' game, it was 18-18. Now here in the boys' game, it's 12-12. It was a surprise that it was tied in the girls' game, as the Lady Clovers entered the game as the number 10 team in the state in Class 2A with a 17-3 record, compared to Cascade being in 3-13. But in the boys' game, it was expected to be about even. The two teams, like I said, both coming in at 3-9, having fared roughly equally well against their 6 common opponents. And now we got a push off there against the Clovers. So Cascade gets the ball. Cloverdale losing the chance to take the lead for the first time in this game. No, excuse me, they did lead at 2-0, excuse me. They led 2-0, and then Cascade scored 10 in a row. So Phillips now over to, now free throw line jumper there by Alderson. No good off the rim. Rebound there by Walker Sims. Now he takes it down, and now Sims puts it off too hard, though. Sanders the rebound. And now a three-pointer there by, it's no good by Alderson. And I'll tell you, what Sanders is doing now, it reminds me about what Ross Stevenson has done the last couple of years. Stevenson, just a little bit taller, but Stevenson is built like a lineman, though. AJ's a skinny guy. You know, he's a kick returner and wide receiver for the football team. Also a very accomplished member of the baseball team. Speaking of which, hopefully we will be doing baseball and softball again on Audio Sports Online, as we did last spring. I had a great time doing that as well. So now going to the line, Nolan Kelly for the first time in this game. His first free throw is up and in and out, and rebound there by Alderson on a tip. Gives it up to Tharp. 7 minutes to go now in the second quarter. Still tied. Now a three-pointer. It's good. Yes. Alderson with his first points of the game. So 4 cadets have scored now, and it's a 15-12 Cascade lead. Now a lay-in, no good there. And however, a Cascade, and now there's a fight over the loose ball there. Let's see what the call is. Those were Alderson's first points. And I am going to have to take a soda break probably relatively soon. My throat is dried out now. So now Alderson with the ball. He finds a hole, pitches out, however, for now over to to Tharp. Now inside, no good there by Spencer. So Cascade failing to, extend their lead now. And Cloverdale has it 6:17 to go in the second quarter. That was good ball movement, though, that time down court by Cascade. A little too fast for me. And now the ball knocked out of bounds to Cloverdale. Cloverdale, a lovely community of about 2,000 people, about 20 miles southwest in Putnam County. I've commentated Cascade out there a couple of times. For girls basketball last season, that thrilling double overtime win in which we came from 18 down to win. And then our football game, that was an ugly win last year. It's a game that we nearly gave away in the rain, but hung on for the win at the end. One of 5 victories we got last season. And now a three-pointer there to tie it there. That was Parker Watts there for Cloverdale. He becomes the third Clover to score. So now a three-pointer there by Spencer. No good off the rim. Hetler tips it, and Tharp gets it. Now pitches over to Sanders for 3. No good. Rebound by Alderson, and he tries to save it, and now we've got a collision here. Let's see what the call is. 5:12 to go here in the second quarter. Cloverdale and Cascade tied at 15 in the second game of our 5th and final doubleheader of the season. Cloverdale had a much tougher time than expected before finally beating Cascade 64-59 in the opener, and probably the best Lady Cadets game of the season. And now Phillips coming in for Sanders, who's gotten a real workout on the floor. He's been all over the place. And now the free throw is no good. So Cloverdale again fails to get the lead. And now a near steal there, but Phillips holds on to it, puts it up off the glass, but they got him for a charge. 5:04 to go. We're still tied at 15. Only 3 points by each team here in the second quarter. But, A.J. Sanders, like I said, it's so amazing that he does all the dirty work, all the banging inside, as small as he is. I mean, I don't think he weighs much more than 155, 160 pounds. Whereas Ross Stevenson at least looked like, a lineman. So Wilkes' jump shot is good. He scored the first 7 points, and those are his first points since. He has 9 now as Cloverdale takes its first lead since 2-0. It's now 17-15, and Cascade takes a timeout. 4:42 to go here in the second quarter. The Cadets want to make sure they don't let this one slip away. And, a few minutes ago in response to my saying that Cascade is on a 10-game losing streak when I commentate, that's counting boys and girls, by the way. Someone texted me suggesting that I'm a bad luck charm for Cascade, and it's ironic to get that text considering the opponent, because Cloverdale, they're the Clovers, and they have part of their logo is a good luck charm, and if I'm bad luck for these Cascade kids, I'm sorry, but I hope you pick up my enthusiasm and my love for this community and these kids, and hopefully, I give you all, instill all of you with the hope that I try to instill myself with as well. There have been times this season, especially with some of the high turnover games for the girls, that, I got, and now a steal there, and converted into the layup is no good. And now rebound also no good on the putback. And now Cloverdale gets it. And now, but he double dribbles there. That was Parker Watts there. So it will be Cascade ball with 4:23 to go here in the second quarter. The Cadets trailing the Clovers by 2, 17-15. But, I'm not superstitious. But, and now, Hetler bobbled the ball when he got it. He would have had an easy put-in otherwise. As it is, the ball knocked out of bounds to Cascade with 4:13 to go. But, I just, sometimes, I might seem overly optimistic, overly hopeful about the future of these basketball programs here. But, I really and now a three-pointer there by Tharp, no good off the rim, and rebound there by Nolan Kelly. Now inside to Wilkes, turnaround jumper from the free throw line. He hits it. Wilkes already with 11. He's the first double-figure scorer of the game, and it's a 19-15 Cloverdale lead. The Clovers now on an 18-5 run. And now they got another steal by Wilkes. He lays it in, no good, and we got a foul now on the rebound attempt there. But maybe I have a little bias. Maybe there are times when I'm seeing things, when I'm seeing optimism that shouldn't be there, but I don't think I am. I mean, it's one of those things, and I'll hold this thought as Nolan Kelly hits the first free throw. That's the first point by either of the Kellys tonight. My paternal grandmother's maiden name was Kelly too, but with only with just a Y instead of an EY for the ending. Appropriate for a Kelly to play for a team with a very Irish name and imagery. So Nolan Kelly hits both of them. So 4 players for each team have scored, and now it's a 21-15 lead for Cloverdale. And now a steal there by Spencer, and he's fouled there. I think they're going to get Kyle Thomas, the freshman, on a reach-in. We need any breaks we can right now. Cloverdale on a 20-5 run, turning an 8-point deficit into a 6-point lead. A 19-5 run, 19-5 run. So now Alderson at the top of the key. Over to Tharp for 3. No good. Cascade's gotten cold from the field. We need to take it inside to Walker more. And now we've got a charge there against Cloverdale. So Cloverdale is failing to pad onto their lead. We've got to capitalize now. This game, I think this is still ours to lose. And there is Phillips comes in for Spencer. So now Tharp behind the back dribble. Now pitches over to Walker behind the three-point line. Now takes it, drives to the basket, pitches out to Phillips, and it is knocked out of bounds to Cascade. 2:47 to go. 2:47 to go. So now inside, wide open to Alderson for 3. No good. And, we're taking too many outside shots. We've got to start getting it into Walker. He has a 5-inch height advantage over anybody that Cloverdale has. Now a three-pointer there. No good. And Du Bois, the rebound, gives it up to wow, there's a lot of contact there. A very questionable no call there. And now inside to Walker. No good, knocked out of bounds to Cascade, 2:19 to go. So now Phillips inside to Walker. Now Walker posts up, hook shot, he hits it. Yes, we need more of that. Walker with a team high 6, cutting the lead to 4. 2:10 to go in the half now. Cascade hanging tough. The girls lost by 6, the boys now down by 4. So now Wilkes at the baseline. Pitches now out to Nolan Kelly, over to Kyle Thomas. Now back over to Wilkes for 3, no good. Rebound by Du Bois. Gives it up to Tharp, who brings it past midcourt. Now down court to a wide open for 3, and it's good. Yes, cutting the lead to 1. That was Alderson. Alderson has 6 all on threes, time for the team lead. 21-20 your score now, so all of a sudden it's a 5-0 Cascade run to cut the lead to 1. Nolan Kelly now double teamed there, coming off a pick there by Jake Kelly. Now Watts has it, gives it up to Thomas, the freshman who leads the team in scoring. And now we've got a kicked ball violation against Cascade. So 1:20 to go. Cloverdale has the ball, and now we've got Phillips and Spencer and Hetler coming in, and Walker and Phillips sitting down. So now Nolan Kelly from the corner, he drains a three. And that pushes the lead up to 4, 1:03 to go here in the first half. And nice jumping there by Mason Tharp. The net got caught up around the rim after that swish on the three-pointer by Nolan Kelly, and the 6'1" Tharp managed to get the net free. So now out to Tharp. Now, and we've got a whistle here as he was trying to find Hitler on the inside. And we got a foul against Cascade with 55.4 seconds to go. Cloverdale with the ball and a 3-point and a 4-point lead, 50 seconds to go now. So now Nolan Kelly there. And now over to a wide open Jake Kelly, in and out on the three-pointer. Hitler the rebound, gives it up now to Spencer. Now over to Tharp, fakes a three, pitches over to Alderson on the left perimeter. Now over to Hitler in the right corner, gives it up to Tharp. 25 seconds to go now in the half. Cascade trailing by 4. Now Tharp dribbles back near midcourt, guarded by Jake Kelly. Now over to the right perimeter. Now and now he's we got a I think they're going to get a reach in against Cloverdale with 12.1 seconds to go, and I believe that will put Cascade in the bonus. Yes, it does. Yes. So Mason Tharp, the team's leading scorer on the season, 4 points tonight. He'll go to the line for a 1-and-1. The foul on Nolan Kelly, that's his first, team 7th. He hits the first one after it rolls around a couple of times. So now, second free throw is up and good. So Tharp now has a team high tying 6, 12.1 seconds to go in the half. And now drive to the basket. Now across court, we got a wide, long three by Watts, no good. Wilkes the rebound, however, he loses control of it, and we've got a foul. I think it's going to be against Cascade. And the Clovers are in the double bonus. 2.3 seconds to go in the half. Wilkes, who already has a game-high 11, steps to the line for 2 now. That foul coming on Alderson. That's his second. If he misses at least 1, it will still be a one-possession game going into the half. Well, actually, Cascade still has a small chance to get a score here in the first half. First free throw is good. Kelly with 12 now. The only double-figure scorer in the game. And now Phillips coming in for number 20, who's not on the roster, part of the annoying charm of high school basketball. So Wilkes hits them both. He has 13 now. It's a 4-point lead. Now Tharp loses. He trips, and I think they're going to put some time back on the clock. The clock ran down to 0, but the referee had called for traveling. So let's see. I don't know if since he tripped, they might have gotten him for a travel, but let's see. There could have been a foul. It'd be great if it was a foul against Cloverdale and we go to the line, but no, apparently it was just a travel. So Cloverdale with 0.2 seconds to go. Time for nothing but a tip in. So Nolan Kelly will inbound the ball from just inside midcourt. Gives it, and now a quick shot, but I don't even know if it would have counted, but it didn't come close to fouling anyway. So up and down first half for your Cadets. They start strong, then go cold from the field, and after one half of play here at Clayton, your score, Cloverdale 26, Cascade 22. We'll be back after these words from our sponsors on AudioSportsOnline.com. The Cascade High School Athletic Department simply would not be able to operate without the financial support of our business partners. We would like to recognize and thank them for their generosity. The official health provider to the cadets, Hendricks Regional Health, Diamond Partners, Bestway Drywall, and North Salem State Bank, Platinum Partners, Allen Irrigation Company, CJ's Pizza, Dunn Insurance Agency, Jill and Ian Bell's Expert Realtors.net and Global Construction Management, Silver Partners, Electric Plus, Bassett Services, Heating and Cooling, and Clean Sensation Auto Detail, and Bronze Partner Endeavor Communications. Thank you, business partners. Your support of the student athletes of Cascade High School is greatly appreciated. Well, back here at Clayton, we're at halftime of the second game of our boys-girls varsity doubleheader. Earlier tonight in the girls' game, the Lady Cadets gave probably their best performance of the season, but fell just short against the Lady Clovers by a score of 64-59. And now in the boys' game, the Clovers are leading the Cadets by a similar margin, 26-22. It's a game in which Cascade started off red hot after Cloverdale had a 2-0 lead. Cascade scored the game's next 10 points to take a 10-2 lead. However, they went cold from the field after that. Cloverdale has had a pretty balanced offense led by the 6'3 senior Jake Wilkes, who's been a very aggressive player on the inside, and they've outscored Cascade by a score of 24-12, exactly doubling up the Cadets since Cascade had that 10-2 lead. I'll look at the individual scoring. First of all, for Cascade, Mason Tharp has 6, as does Benson Walker. As does Stephen Alderson, and A.J. Sanders has 4. Meanwhile, for the Clovers, Jake Wilkes leads the way with 13. Meanwhile, the team's leading scorer on the season, freshman sensation Kyle Thomas, has 5 tonight. Nolan Kelly also has 5, while Parker Watts has 3. So I think right now what Cascade needs to do in the second half is, they need to utilize Benson Walker a lot more on the inside. He has a 5-inch height advantage over anybody who Cloverdale has. So if we get the ball into him and he gets 2 or 3 short-range field goals early in the second half, and then, Cloverdale starts paying more attention to him, clamping down, doubling and tripling down on him, and then he starts pitching it out to Tharp and Alderson and some of the other guards, and they start hitting at some of their outside shots, then I think we're going to have an excellent shot to come back and win this game. We only trail by 4 now, so I feel fairly optimistic. We just have to use Walker, and I think the way that, however Walker does the rest of the way in this game, it's going to affect whether we win or lose. I think if Walker has a big second half and commands a lot of defensive attention, I think we'll come back and win the game. And even the same game plan that we had in the first half, if we had hit a couple more outside shots, we'd be in the lead. So, it's not like we're getting blown out of the gym. We're only down by 4. We just have to, we have to counter. We have to counter Wilkes on the inside. Walker's got to be real aggressive. And the thing that makes that a challenge is, Walker, only 6'8". One good thing is I don't think he has any fouls. But of our other regular players, none of the others, who've played tonight are above 6'1". Now, Gavin Hetler at 6'5" did have a few backup minutes there for Walker. And, I'd be all for putting, Hetler and Walker side by side at a few points, especially since Cameron Ginter, our 6'2" power forward, isn't playing tonight. So, if we have Walker and Hetler in there together, 6'8" and 6'5", I think, that could be a presence that could really disrupt Cloverdale, especially since Wilkes, even though he's, only 6'3", he's very good and very effective at taking it inside. And he's a great athlete as well. He has a lot of quickness. probably more than anybody on our team except for Sanders, who's only 5'10". So it's a game. This game, I think, it's still very winnable. What I wanted to see, though, is a good start in the second half. You know, the second half of the girls' game, we were down by 9, and then it ended up being 12 before we came back hard. I don't want us to have that much of a mountain to climb. I want us to get back in it very early. And if we do that, I think we got a good shot to win. Playing from behind is tough, you know. We got to try to play from ahead as much as we can. We played the majority of the first half ahead tonight, too. So if we get the lead back, I think we're going to be in good shape. And like I said, I believe Walker has no fouls. If Walker plays his size, I think we're going to be okay. So, anyway, also I want to talk a little more about another point I was going to make. You know, and luck to me being bad luck for this team since they've lost 10 consecutive games that I've commentated, boys and girls. You know, there are times when probably I see a little more hope than is there. But, you know, I've been watching, this is my 41st season of watching basketball, and I think that even though I wasn't a basketball player, I think that I know the sport better than most. And I think, you know, being with this program 3 years now, watching girls develop, you know, I think I'm a pretty good assessor of talent and what it takes to win. And, you know, I remember going back, you know, I was a zealous NBA fan in the late 80s and early 90s. And I loved college basketball too, but I just didn't understand why people in Indiana were pretty apathetic overall about the NBA. And I remember those Pacers teams, you know, from 90 to 90, from the 89-90 to 92-93 seasons. They went 42 and 40, 41 and 41, 40 and 42, and then 41 and 41 again over those 4 years. Lost in the first round of the playoffs every time. And I was saying, you know, for about the last 3 years of that span, they were close to being an NBA championship contending team. And I don't think anybody believed me. But I knew they were, 'cause I knew basketball. I didn't know it then as well as I do now, but I knew they were. I knew they had the pieces in place. They just hadn't come together yet. You know, the chemistry hadn't come together. And, you know, the players hadn't peaked yet. And sure enough, finally, you know, in the, you know, and you know, the 93-94 season, they started off 16 and 23, and finally, bang, the chemistry came together. And they were, I think, the second best team in the league over the last 43 games that season. And, you know, they'd never won an NBA playoff series before, then went to the conference finals that season, and then, you know, starting that season 5 out of 7. Including, you know, getting to the NBA Finals, taking the Lakers to 6 games in 2000. So, you know, and I felt all along the Lady Cadets are close to being a good team. And I think what they did tonight proved that. They proved that, you know, you can improve your ball handling a lot within a season. Their first 11 games of the season, they committed at least 19 turnovers a game, including a high of 33 against Owen Valley. I haven't seen the stat sheet for tonight, but I would bet that it was probably somewhere in the neighborhood of maybe 10 or 12 tonight. It was not an alarming number. And so, you know, and like I said, with the ball handling having been the only glaring weakness we have this year, once the ball handling comes together, everything's going to fall into place, and we're going to be a good team. It doesn't mean that we're going to, make a big tournament run this year. Although, like I said, now that we only lost to the best team in the sectional by 6, I'm starting to think that maybe we won't be one and done in the tournament for the girls. So, and then for the boys, you know, like I said, you know, every team, I think everybody in that sectional, because it's so balanced, has a fairly realistic shot to win it. But, you know, getting back to the girls, though, I am so inspired by that performance tonight. So, I don't think I think that game really taught me that my optimism, you know, and hope was merited. You know, that I wasn't just seeing things. And And I have not always been Mr. Optimism. I mean, going back to a story I've been telling quite a few times on the air lately, going back to the 2006 Colts season when we lost to Jacksonville in, I think, game 13 or 14. It was game 13, where they got the second most rushing yards against us since the AFL NFL merger. I didn't think there was any way. I mean, I thought there was virtually zero hope of winning the Super Bowl. And, but we did it. And so, our girls can still do a lot this season. And that's why I hope you'll get out there, for their next game on Monday night, especially since, it's a rescheduling of a game and it's at a special start time of 6 o'clock. It's really important that, you get out there so we'll have a good crowd for them. And, tell your cadet fans in case they don't know about the rescheduling. Tell them about it and make sure they get out there for it, So back to second half action here. Cascade has the ball first. Now cross court over inside to Walker, but it's stolen there by Wilkes. Right idea, but Wilkes was on top of it. So now. So now Jake Wilkes, and that nearly stolen, but now over to and now bank in there by Jake Kelly. So now it's a 6-point lead, matching the biggest lead that Cloverdale's had in this game. And now Sanders pitches out to, and now. Lay in there is good by Tharp. Tharp with the team high 8, cutting the lead to 4. 6:41 to go. And now a drive to the basket. And now put in there by Nolan Kelly. He has 7. Second on the team behind Wilkes with 13. 30-24 your score. 6:20 to go in the third quarter. Coming at you live from Clayton. And now inside to Walker, but it's tipped over, and now no good by Alderson on the putback. And Jake Kelly gets the rebound. I'll tell you, having 2 Jakes and 2 Kellys, that's a recipe for making a lot of screw-ups when you're a commentator. I'll do the best I can. So now Watts fakes a 3, then dribbles inside the lane. Left-handed shot, no good. Rebounded there by Phillips. Takes it all the way himself. Pitches out to a wide-open Tharp for 3. No good off the rim. Wilkes the rebound. Pitches down court to, and now it's a nice block there by Tharp. I think it was a clean block out of bounds to Cloverdale with 5:32 to go here. We got to get more offense, though. Since that hot starter offense is stalled. And now going to the free throw line, we got, okay, they called it a foul. I thought it was a clean block. So Kyle Thomas, very good. He's good on the first free throw. He has 6. Team's leading scorer as a freshman. Looks like he's going to become the next mega scorer in school history following Cooper Neese and Jalen Moore, the 9th and 11th leading scorers, respectively, in state history. Thomas hit them both. He has 7 now, and it's a game-high 8-point lead for Cloverdale. And then on the inbounds pass knocked out of bounds to Cloverdale, so the Cadets better be careful here. This one in danger of slipping away. Now three-pointer now, no good. Rebound there by Alderson. And now a steal attempt knocked out of bounds to Cascade. But had that shot gone, it would have been an 11-point Cloverdale lead. And that would have put us not out of it, but certainly in a deep hole. And now inside to Sanders, fakes a jump shot, drives to the lane, puts it off the glass. No good after rolling around. And now Cloverdale brings it up. Nolan Kelly puts it up erratically as he's falling down. No good. It goes out of bounds to Cloverdale. 5:03 to go here in the third quarter. Cloverdale 32, Cascade 24. Cloverdale won the girls' game earlier this evening, 64-59. The boys trying to, salvage a split for Cascade. although certainly the game very much a moral victory for the Cadets. That's foul on Sanders, his third. AJ sitting down now. Dane DuBois. I almost said Dalton, his big brother. Dane DuBois coming in for the Cadets, coach's son. Now inside to Nolan Kelly, over to Wilkes. Back to Nolan Kelly. 4:13 to go. And now a drive and a reverse layup, no good there by Wilkes. Cascade does control the rebound. Tharp. Now coming off a pick there by DuBois. Gets in the lane, puts it up. He hit it. Yes, boy, did we ever need that. Mason Tharp, our first double-figure scorer. He has 10, cutting the lead to 6. 4:10 to go here in the third quarter, a little over a quarter and a half to play to make up a 6-point deficit. And now I think we got an over and back violation. So Cascade now with the ball. A chance to chip into that lead. Now inside to Tharp, the team's leading scorer on the season and in this game. Now coming off a pick by Walker, puts it up in the lane, no good, gets his own rebound, and he's fouled. And I'll tell you, Tharp only 6'1", but our second tallest, a player who's in the game right now. Dane DuBois also 6'1". So nevertheless tied for our second tallest player in the game right now. And now Tharp open for three. He takes it. Air ball, however, and it goes out of bounds to Cloverdale. 3:45 to go here in the third quarter. The Clovers still with a 6-point lead, 32-26. 8:52 your time of day. And now a three-pointer is good there. That was Kyle Thomas, the freshman with 10 points now. And it's a game-high 9-point lead there for Cloverdale. We got to get some offense going. We got to get Walker involved down low. And now he had the right idea. He drove the lane, and I think he drew the foul. I can't see everything there on the near baseline from my vantage point. .310 to go in the third quarter. Cloverdale 35, Cascade 26. Both teams with a record of 3-9. Look pretty evenly matched. So now inside to Walker. Posts up, puts it up. He hit it. Yes. We need a lot more of that. Walker with 8 now. 2 or 3 more close-range shots like that, and I think that'll really change the Cloverdale defense in our favor. And now they lose it, and now it's a easy lay-in by Tharp. Tharp with 12 now. So we've cut the lead from 9 to 5 in just a few seconds. And now drive into the lane is good, however, by Thomas. Thomas with 12 now. .37-30 your score. And now knocked away from Walker. And Wilkes comes away with it, gives it up to Nolan Kelly, brings it down. And now a drive to the basket. However, he loses it, and Walker comes away with it. Gives it to Alderson, brings it past midcourt. Drives to the basket. Gives it inside to DuBois. It's knocked away from him, however, out of bounds to Cascade with 1:58 to go here in the third quarter. Cloverdale with a 7-point lead. Cascade with just under 10 minutes to turn this thing around. Now a couple of substitutions for Cloverdale. We've got Kyle Thomas and Jake Wilkes sitting down, and we got to take advantage of them being out. Now a three-pointer by Tharp, no good, and out of bounds to Cascade. Newly into the game for Cloverdale, we have Walker Sims. He is a 6'3" sophomore, as well as just a moment here. Hold that thought. So now Jake Kelly with the ball, gives it up to Nolan Kelly. Now over to Watts, over to Jake Kelly, and we've got a whistle here with 1:28 to go here in the third quarter. And now for Cascade, Spencer and Hetler coming in, Phillips and Walker sitting down. Walker with 8 points, not bad, but we're going to need a lot more from. We're going to need a monster fourth quarter from him. So Watts with the ball now. Jump shot outside the free throw line, and he hit it. Oh my God, that was sensational move. Well, Wilkes, I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry, that was Watts. And now Cascade takes a timeout. Coach Du Bois looks upset, understandably. So Cascade trailing by 9. That's their biggest deficit of the game. 1:01 to go. 9 minutes and 1 second. 1:01 to go in the third quarter. 9:01 to go in the game. So we have to make up a point a minute. It can be done, but we've got to get some stops. And Thomas has really come into his own here in the second quarter. In the second half, he has 12. He's the team's leading scorer on the season. He has 12. Wilkes has 13. 39-30 is your score. So, just like I said at the half, we need to get Benson Walker more involved in the offense. He hasn't gotten involved enough so far. So I think it's going to be a key to, pulling this out. And, it helps. It's also hurt that our outside shots just haven't been falling to the rate that they need to be. It's been a fairly cold shooting night for us. Good effort, though. And now we got a foul there. Watts was being very aggressive toward Alderson there. So we got the whistle with 52.5 seconds to go. That's only Watts' first foul, however, and only the team third here of the second half. So now post-up move by Hetler, puts it off the glass, no good. And now he fights over the rebound with Wilkes. Jump ball, possession arrow favors Cloverdale. But that was a great move by Hetler, though. You take good shots. Sometimes they fall, sometimes you don't. And, coach is applauding, as he should. That was a great effort there by Hetler. So now inside to Thomas. The freshman, as good as advertised. I can only imagine what he's going to be like as a senior. That's one reason why I hope that even when we move to the ICC next year, we will keep Cloverdale on the schedule as a non-conference opponent. We are doing that in football. So Sanders coming in for Alderson now. 39.5 seconds to go. To drive to the basket. It's blocked, though, by Hetler. And a fight over the loose ball. And we've got, Cascade got it, and they got the timeout. I couldn't tell from my vantage point who got it, but good move, whoever it was. That's great alertness there. 30-second timeout. And at that, I am going to take a soda break with Cloverdale leading Cascade 39-30 here on audiosportsonline.com. Because I have talked for about 3 hours nonstop without anything to drink, and my throat really needs this, so just bear with me. Okay, I feel better now. Excuse me. So now, back to action here. Tharp with the ball out to Hetler, drives, pitches out to Tharp. 14 seconds to go now. Over to Sanders, drives into the lane. Beautiful move, no good, however. And now a fight over the loose ball. And we got a whistle here with 6.7 seconds to go in the quarter. Let's see what the call is. I think it was jump ball possession arrow favoring Cascade. So now inside to Walker, pitches over to Hetler. He drives to the, and now he loses control, and a desperation shot, no good at the buzzer by Wilkes. So your Cascade Cadets, 8 minutes to salvage a split here in today's doubleheader. Your score, Cloverdale 39, Cascade 30. We'll be back after these words from our sponsors on audiosportsonline.com. The Cascade High School Athletic Department simply would not be able to operate without the financial support of our business partners. We would like to recognize and thank them for their generosity. The official health provider to the cadets, Hendricks Regional Health, Diamond Partners, Bestway Drywall, the North Salem State Bank, Platinum Partners, Allen Irrigation Company, CJ's Pizza, Dunn Insurance Agency, Jill and Ian Bell's ExpertRealtors.net and Global Construction Management, Silver Partners, Electric Plus, Bassett Services Heating and Cooling, and Clean Sensation Auto Detail, and Bronze Partner Endeavor Communications. Thank you, business partners. Your support of the student athletes of Cascade High School is greatly appreciated. Well, back here at Clayton, we're about to start the fourth quarter with your Cascade Cadets trailing the Cloverdale Clovers by a score of 39-30. It's a game in which Cascade jumped off to a 10-2 lead, but has struggled offensively ever since, while Cloverdale has first slowly chipped away at the lead and then slowly built the lead. So now, Cascade does get the ball first to start the fourth quarter. Sanders inside to Phillips. We got to get a monster fourth quarter from Walker. So now Phillips for three. No good. Walker, it bounces off his hands, and Wilkes gets the rebound, gives it up to Thomas. Over to Watts. To Jake Kelly, thinks about a three, but then hands off to Nolan Kelly. Now over to Watts again, back to Jake Kelly. Nearly stolen there by, and now Tharp, a little too aggressive. Foolish foul there, 7:29 to go in the game. And, okay, now inside to Thomas, guarded by Sanders. So now Thomas with 7:13 to go in the game. Cloverdale up by 9. And now nice steal attempt there by Walker. Leaves open for three by Wilkes, but he misses it. Phillips the rebound, gives it to Tharp. Pulls up, he had a wide open three, then pitches out to Spencer. Short jump shot, in and out. Wilkes the rebound. Thomas with the ball now. 6:46 to go. Cascade, it's not time to panic, but we've got to have some urgency here. We've got to get Walker more involved on the offense. He has 8 in the game. He'll probably need at least 8 or 10 more to give us a fair shot to win. And now a nice move there by Thomas. Puts it up. It's blocked, however. And Tharp comes with the rebound, brings it down himself, puts it up. He hit it. Mason Tharp with 14. And now at the other end, we've got a collision here, so let's see what the call is. 39-32 your score, 6:09 to go in the game. We need to make up a little over a point a minute. Kyle Thomas, the team's leading scorer on the season, with 12 tonight. Goes to the free throw line. His first one, no good. So now Phillips coming in for Sanders. He hit the second one. He has 13 to tie for the team lead. 40-32 is your score. 6:04 to go in the game. Got to make up a point every 45 seconds. Now over to Spencer. Drives into the lane, puts it off the glass. He hits it. Yes. Spencer, his first points of the game coming at a good time. Cutting the lead to 6. We're still in this one. But now wide open for a 3. No good, however. And uncontested rebound there by Tharp. He brings it down himself. And now free throw line jumper by Tharp. He hits it. Down to 4. Tharp with 16. All right. So we're still in this one, down to 4. So suddenly Cascade starting to hit. We'll see how Cloverdale responds. And now Nolan Kelly over to Thomas. Three-pointer. He hit it. Thomas with 16 now to lead Cloverdale. And that pushes the lead back up to 9. Or to 7, excuse me. And now they've got a whistle here. Let's see what the call is. So let's see. 5:02 to go in the game. Cloverdale by 7, Cascade with the ball. Three-pointer by Tharp. In and out. Walker gets it and puts it in. Yes, that's exactly what we needed. I doubt they can hear me. And now on the inbounds pass, goes out. It's knocked out of bounds to Cascade. So we got the ball trailing only by 5. We're still in this one. 4:52 to go. We just have to make up about a point a minute. So now, but they got. I couldn't tell if it was over and back or if he stepped on the line. Nevertheless, an unforced error there by Cascade, and things like that could really do us in tonight. Now we've got a timeout with 4:44 to go in the game. So Cascade's, and it's a Cloverdale timeout, by the way. So Cascade has certainly had their chances, but with the girls, it was. And then I see Ross Stevenson on the bench, wearing the warm-up pants with a black T-shirt that says in large white lettering at the back, "Make it happen." Hopefully, the cadets will take that advice and do that tonight. They're trailing by 5 now with 4:44 to go. Well, I was starting to say I doubt they can hear me from up here at the commentary table, but, they did get Walker more involved there. He has 10 now. And now a nice steal there by Walker. Come on, Benson. Oh, okay, but he was fouled from behind. Okay. All right, so we've got this. We've got a shot here. Hopefully it was a shooting foul. No, it wasn't. And we're not in the bonus yet. That was only the 5th. Foul, and that's 4 against Jake Wilkes. That'd be great if we could get him fouled out. He has 13 tonight. And now inside to Tharp. Drives the baseline. Looks for a man. And he finds Sanders, fakes a 3, drives to the basket. He pitches, bounces back to him, gives it out to Tharp behind the legs, between the legs dribble. Outside to Phillips, back over to Tharp. Inside to Walker. Come on, Benson. Posts up, puts it up. Too hard. And it's an air ball into the arms of Kyle Thomas. Yeah, Benson just put too much on it. And now a wide open 3 at the other end. No good, however. Rebound there by Jake Wilkes. He puts it back up and in. So pushes the lead back up pushes the lead back up to 7. Under 4 minutes to go now. Come on, guys. And now Cascade commits a foul away from the ball. So it looks like this one's slipping away from us. That one on Walker, his third. And now they lose it, though, so we get the ball back. We got to capitalize on it here. Walker over to Alderson. Cross court to Tharp for 3. He hit it! Yes! 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 Tharp with 19 now. Cuts the lead to 4. 3:22 to go. We're still in this one. And now we got, AJ wide open for the layup. You're right. We got it down to 2. Yes. Yes, come on. Come on, guys. Let's finish the job. We've cut the lead from 9 to 7 now. Cloverdale showing signs of shooting themselves in the foot now. So a great blitz late by Cascade to set up a barn burner of a finish. So let's see. So now we've got at the other end Kyle Thomas. No good on the free throw. So we'll tie with a 2, take the lead with a 3. Come on, boys, let's do this. We got the momentum here. Show how much you want it. So now out to Sanders, fakes a 3. Across court to Phillips. Now down to Sanders at the corner, and he travels. AJ just got a little overzealous there. We're only down by 2, though, with 2:50 to go. This one is still very much in our grasp. And now at the other end, however, Wilkes left open. Somebody blew an assignment there, and they pushed the lead back up to 4. 2:38 to go. Now Phillips out to Tharp, drives the baseline, and he's fouled. 2:33 to go. And so now Cascade will be going to the line. We can make it a one-possession game here. 47-43 your score. Cascade trail. Now, no, it won't be a shooting foul. I'm sorry. So one more, and we get in the bonus, though. So now inbounds pass into Walker. Hands off to Phillips, outside to Tharp. Fakes a 3. Inside to Alderson. A steal attempt knocked out of bounds to Cascade. And so with 2:24 to go here in the game, Cascade with the ball trailing by 4. Walker gets it, drives, puts it up. Too hard, though. Too hard. That's the second time in this quarter Walker's just put too much on a shot. And now Cloverdale with a 4-point lead in the ball with 2:10 to go. They clearly have the momentum now. We got to get a stop here. And now a 3-pointer there by Nolan Kelly. No good. Probably not a good shot selection. And we take it now. We got to capitalize on it. So Phillips with the ball over to Tharp for 3. In and out. However, we've got a foul. Looks like it's going to be against Cloverdale. 1:47 to go. And that does put us in the bonus, so we're going to the line. 47-43 your score. Sanders going to the line. No good. However, the rebound, we almost got it, but it was Thomas, the freshman who's not playing like a freshman tonight. And like I said, I can only imagine how good he's going to be as a senior. Now he drives to the basket. However, errant pass. Phillips gets it. 2-on-1 fast break. Down to Tharp. He lays it in. We're down to it's cut to 2. 1:25 to go, and we got a timeout. So we're still in this one. We're still in this one. 47-45. Cloverdale leading. 1:25 to go in the game. Boy, I'll tell you, it's this is the most tense I've been in quite a few games. I really want us to get this one here. It'll be great. It'd be great, a momentum builder, not only just to get a win after losing 6 of our last 7, but also, coming back from 9 in the fourth quarter, certainly a great confidence builder. And again, this is a team, this Cascade team, we still are going to have a shot to do something in the sectional, because a lot depends on the draw, but this is a team that this is a team that is in a sectional in which the teams are pretty evenly matched this season, where there's no clear favorite, where there could be a lot of games decided by inches, and where you get a few good breaks, and especially if we improve a lot down the stretch, build a lot of momentum, I don't count out that we could make a run at that sectional championship. Last year with Cloverdale, I think it was a foregone conclusion they were going to win it, and they did, with Jalen Moore, the 11th leading scorer in state history. So now Cloverdale playing keep away, and now Alderson looked like he wanted to go for a steal there. Now inside to Wilkes, spin move, he puts it in, pushing the lead back up to 2 possessions. 1 minute to go. He has a team high 17. So now we need 2 scores. Phillips drives the baseline, puts it up off the glass, he hits it, and it cuts the lead to 2, 47 seconds to go. Now inside to Thomas, he gets it past midcourt. Double teamed there, pitches over to Jake Kelly, now over to a wide open Nolan Kelly, and he's fouled with 37.5 seconds to go in the game. Cloverdale leading by 2. 49-47 your score. Cascade trailed by as many as 9, I believe, here in the fourth quarter. And they've made a furious comeback late. Now, Nolan Kelly is good on the free throw. That makes it a 3-point game, Now, if he misses this one, then we can tie with the 3, which I don't think we necessarily should go for a 3. I think if we can get a quick 2, I think we should go for that. He misses it. So we can tie with the 3. Cut it to 1 with a 2. So now Walker fakes a 3. Now he shoots a 3, and he's fouled. So he's going to the free throw line. If he hits all 3, we'll be tied. 24.5 seconds to go. Well, when I said I said we needed to get Vincent Walker more involved in the offense, I didn't have 3-pointers in mind. But let's see if he hits these 3 free throws here, which would tie the game and put all the pressure on Cloverdale, having blown a big fourth quarter lead. Come on, boys. Show us how much you want this one. Show how much you want it. Walker, he missed the first. Come on. Second one is good, cutting the lead to 2. (50-48) Walker with his third free throw coming up. This would cut the lead to 1 with 24.5 seconds to go here in the fourth quarter at Clayton. He hit it. Walker with 12 now. Now we got to get the ball back. And now very aggressive triple team there, and we got to reach in with 21.1 seconds to go, so we didn't waste much time. Kyle Thomas, let's see how the freshman handles this pressure situation. (50-49) your score. Cascades cut the lead from, I believe, as much as 9 down to 1 here. Thomas hits the free throw. Now, even if he hits this one, Cascade can still tie with the 3, and there's enough time left that it won't be imperative that they necessarily go for a 3. Thomas, he hit them both. So it's a 3-point Cloverdale lead, 20 seconds to go now. Tharp brings it down. Coming off a pick by Walker. Fakes a three, then puts up a three. Air ball. Goes out of bounds to Cloverdale, 12.2 seconds to go. So, we're not out of it yet, but we got to get a stop here. If Cloverdale gets even a point on this possession, then we're in a deep hole. So now we got a foul. Come on. We wasted about 2 seconds, but we did get the foul with 9.9 seconds to go. Alderson fouled Jake Kelly. Come on. Jake Kelly, I wish you no harm, but I would really appreciate it if you miss these free throws. He will be. They're in the double bonus, so he'll be going to the line for 2. I have Jake Kelly with 4 tonight. His first free throw is up. No good. Okay, good. Now, if he misses this one, we can tie with a 3. And I would guess if he does this one, miss this one, we'll take a timeout to set up a play. He hit it. So now we need 2 scores and fast. And now we got a timeout with 7.4 seconds to go. So we're going to have to get a score within 3 or 4 seconds and then get a steal on the inbounds pass or foul immediately. And I'll tell you, though, Cascade, when you're 3-9 and you lose to a 3-9 team, I don't know if it could be, considered a moral victory. Certainly, there has been a lot of good to take out of this game. It is good that Cascade, when it looked like, they were all but out of it, that they came back and fought so hard and made some good defensive plays. But this is a game where, it was still theirs to lose. So I will try to take a glass about 60% full approach if they end up losing. But anyway, let's see what happens. So Sanders inbounding now. Now he finds a wide open Walker, puts it off the glass. He draws the foul. It would have been great if he would have had a chance for a 3-point play. Nevertheless, we only lost 1.3 seconds on that play. Now, if he hits both of them, we'll only be down by 2, and we'll have a fair amount of time left. Walker with 12. His first free throw is good. So it's back to being a one-possession game. Walker with 13 now. Second on the team behind Tharp's 21. Second free throw. No good. Sanders the rebound, however, puts it up. He hits it. We're just down to 1. 3 seconds to go. We got to stop the clock, though. And it doesn't. Well, let's see. Was there a whistle before? I'm unclear as to what. No, the referees are leaving the court, so apparently that's the game. So heartbreaking finish. The Cadets' furious comeback falls 1 point short. And the Cloverdale Clovers complete a narrow sweep of Cascade here with this boys-girls varsity doubleheader. Your final score here tonight at Clayton, Cloverdale 53, Cascade 52. We'll be back after a few words from our sponsors and look ahead after these words from our sponsors on audiosportsonline.com. The Cascade High School Athletic Department simply would not be able to operate without the financial support of our business partners. We would like to recognize and thank them for their generosity. The official health provider to the Cadets, Hendricks Regional Health, Diamond Partners, Bestway Drywall, and North Salem State Bank, Platinum Partners, Allen Irrigation Company, CJ's Pizza, Dunn Insurance Agency, Jill, Eddie, and Bell's ExpertRealtors.net, and Global Construction Management, Silver Partners, Electric Plus, Bassett Services, Heating and Cooling, and Clean Sensation Auto Detail, and Bronze Partner Endeavor Communications. Thank you, business partners. Your support of the student athletes of Cascade High School is greatly appreciated. Well, back here at Clayton for a final time tonight where your Cascade Cadets have lost a doubleheader to the Cloverdale Clovers. Earlier this evening, the Lady Clovers beat the Lady Cadets by a score of 64-59, despite Cascade playing probably its best game of the season. And then in the boys' game, Cascade got up to a red-hot start, ended up falling behind, trailed by 9 in the fourth quarter before coming back almost all the way back and cutting it to 1, which is where the game ended. Again, the final score 53-52. It's a game in which Cascade actually had a 10-2 lead after a 10-0 run, and then really went ice cold for most of the rest of the first half. Cloverdale went on a 26-9 run, and in the second half, generally until about midway through the fourth quarter, held a lead, between about 6 and 12. And then around the middle of the fourth quarter, after when it was up to 9, Cascade started to hit offensively, started to play more aggressively, made a few defensive stops, hustled, got some rebounds, and really almost pulled it off with about 24 seconds to go, and the Cadets trailing by 3. Benson Walker was fouled on a 3-point field goal attempt. He made 2 of the 3 shots, pushing cutting the lead to 1. And then in the final seconds, after Cloverdale got 3 more points to push the lead up to 4, Walker was fouled with 6.1 seconds to go. And cut he made the first free throw to cut the lead to 1, 53-50, and then missed the second free throw. 5-10, A.J. Sanders got it and put it back up, cutting the lead to 1. However, there was Cascade tried to foul, but it was not called. I'm unclear as to whether the contact was made when there was still any time left on the clock. It was certainly a very close call. Nevertheless, a tense finale, exciting game. Disappointing result, especially that we lost both games of the doubleheader, but still a lot of good to take from this win. Before I forget, let's look at the individual scoring first of all for your Cascade Cadets. Mason Tharp led the way with 21. Benson Walker had 13, and then they were the only double-figure scorers. Mason Tharp had 13. Mason Tharp at 21. Benson Walker had 13. They were the only 2 double-figure scorers for the Cadets tonight. Then A.J. Sanders had 8. Stephen Alderson had 2. Cole Spencer had 2. I'm sorry, let me start over. Mason Tharp led the way with 21, followed by Benson Walker with 13. A.J. Sanders had 8. Stephen Alderson had 6. Cole Spencer had 2, and Bryson Phillips had 2. Meanwhile, for the Cloverdale Clovers, Kyle Thomas, the freshman leading scorer on the season, leading scorer tonight, he scored 18. Jake Wilkes scored 17, including his team's first 7 points. Nolan Kelly had 8. Jake Kelly had 5, and Parker Watts had 5. So, in conclusion, this is a game that I saw a lot to like about it, but at the same time, it does leave a little bit of a bad taste in my mouth because there were several unforced errors that we made that had we not made just one of them, we might have pulled out the win. Also, I felt we waited too long to get Benson Walker to make him, the focal point of the offense. I really wanted us to do that from the start, as he had a 5-inch height advantage over anybody that Cloverdale had. Now, granted, Jake Wilkes, who's 5 inches shorter, is a very tough inside player and more athletic than Walker, but I still think Walker could have had a lot of success inside against Wilkes. And we didn't start going to him much until the second half. And by the time especially in the fourth quarter, when we started going to him more regularly, he seemed a little panicked and rushed. had some close range shots that he just put too much on, which indicates that which suggests that he was hurrying. As we had a big lead to overcome, and we did almost overcome it. But so certainly one thing to take from this game, get Walker more involved in the offense. So keep in mind we're probably going to have a solid size advantage over a vast majority of our opponents, and especially in the smaller teams, in schools about our size. Of course, we mainly play bigger schools. Cloverdale is one exception; they are roughly our size, another 2A school. But if we can get him, more involved in the offense, make him, and still, it is important to say that, this is the fifth highest scoring game of Benson Walker's career, and all five of his in his 5 highest scoring games have come in his last 9 games. So he certainly is playing a lot better. And we still have 9 regular season games to tune up for the playoffs. About 6 weeks to do so. So I think we're going to take a lot of the good and the bad from this game, continue the good, figure out how we can fix the bad, take better care of the ball, don't rush shots. Get Walker more involved in the offense. And we need to work on the shooting more. We don't have enough reliable outside shooting, and once we get that, that'll help Walker get more involved in the offense as well, because teams won't have as much of a luxury of clamping down on him, if they're afraid of Tharp and Alderson and Spencer and a couple other guys, sticking it to him from 18 or 20 feet. So, we still got time to do a lot of. I think we're going to be better next season despite losing Walker. I think Tharp, at times this year he's shown the ability to take over games, and he had 21 tonight and he nearly got us back in it. He scored more points than anybody on Cloverdale did. So certainly there is a lot to feel good about in this game. The thing to feel bad about it is that we still should have won it. 1 or 2 fewer mistakes, and we would have won it. So work on the outside shooting. Don't hurry with don't force shots. Stay composed, and get Walker more involved. Get the ball inside to him more, and I think we'll be fine, and I think we're going to be very competitive in the sectional. So, overall, good effort, fairly good execution, but had we given great execution, we would have won. So now we just have to do a lot of the same things we did tonight, but have great execution next time. And, if we do that, we're going to win a lot of our remaining games and really enter the tournament with a lot of momentum. So, looking ahead, Cascade, after this game tonight, they return to action on Tuesday night, 15 miles down the road in the city of Greencastle, not to play Greencastle High School, but to play South Putnam High School, the other public high school in the city of Greencastle. And the Eagles enter the game with a record of 8-4. However, they're doing it against a much weaker schedule. Like that, they've got, for example, a couple of their wins are against 1A teams, Eminence and Clay City. In fact, actually, they even lost to a 1A team, Greenwood Christian, by 18 points this season. South Putnam actually did beat Cloverdale by 3, the same Cloverdale team that just beat us by 1. So they're against a common opponent. You're seeing the two teams about the same. And then we both got blown out by Edgewood, although South Putnam a little more by 34. We lost to Edgewood by 26. So, overall, you compare the body of work between the two teams, and they're about even. South Putnam, records just inflated because they have played a weak schedule. So that is going to be a pretty winnable game. And, based on us doing about the same versus common opponents. And let's look and see at who South Putnam has. And interestingly, this is the first time I ever remember seeing this. All 9 of their varsity players are actually seniors. And I do remember when we played them here and beat them last year at Clayton, they only had one senior who I believe was a reserve. But anyway, they're led by 6'6" Alan Plunkett, who averages team highs of 16.8 points and 5.8 rebounds. So that'll be a real test for Benson Walker, probably more of an inside challenge than he'll get against most teams in our class. South Putnam is a Class 2A team. And then they have another double-figure scorer, Thomas Fanning, who averages 13.5 points a game, and he's hit 20 of 51 three-point shots on the season. That's 39%. And their starting five is rounded out by Austin Arnold, who has 6.5 points and 4.1 rebounds. 6'2" Dalton Scott with 6.2 points, 4.2 rebounds, and a team-high 2.4 assists. And finally, 6'4" Steven Schnepp with 5.6 points a game. So anyway, hope you all will get out there on Tuesday. The snow should be subsided by then, and it's a very easy drive. It's just straight down US 40 until the intersection of US 40 and US 231. So just 15 miles down the road is where we play the sectional. And hope you all will get out there, give the kids a good road crowd, and hopefully cheer them on to a win. Let them know you're still believing in them. And, they gave a great effort tonight, almost pulled off a great comeback. And hopefully they'll get over the hump at South Putnam on Tuesday night. And then after that, they will return to action a week from tomorrow night down in the lovely community of Trafalgar. That's about an hour southeast of here, and to play the Indian Creek Braves. And so hope you all get out there. It'd be a nice surprise to the kids if they went down there and saw a lot of familiar faces traveling that far to support them. Indian Creek is 7-4 on the season. And then after that, Cascade will return home again 2 weeks from tonight to play their Western Indiana Conference crossover opponent. We do not know yet who that is. It could be one of several teams. In fact, I'm looking at the standings right now. For those of you who don't know, every year after all the conference games, the conference games have been played in each division, the leaders of each division will play for the conference championship, and then the second-place teams will play each other, third-place teams will play each other, and so on. And right now it looks like, mathematically, it looks like it could be any one of the 6 teams in the West Division. So that would be Greencastle, West Vigo, South Putnam, Sullivan, North Putnam, and Northview. So we'll see who it is. But, whoever it is, hope you all will get out there here 2 weeks from tonight. That'll be our next boys broadcast, by the way. And then the girls, the Lady Cadets will be part of our next overall Cascade broadcast. That will be Monday night when they play the rescheduled game against the Cecina Lady Crusaders. That is going to be a very winnable game. Cecina only 5-13, a 2A team on the season, and if we play as well as we did tonight, if our girls play as well as they did tonight, they should be able to. They should get the victory on Monday, which would break an 8-game losing streak and be very welcome. Tonight I really wanted them to get the win because it was probably their best game of the season. They didn't get the win, but hopefully they'll get it on Monday, get that monkey off their back, and just keep their heads up and stay hopeful and optimistic and enthusiastic, as they drive toward the last 2 weeks of the regular season. And and also keep in mind that a week from Sunday at 3:30 p.m., the IHSAA is going to announce the girls' sectional pairings, so hope you all will tune in for that. That's a week from Sunday, January 20th at IHSAATV.org. And after it airs live, it will be broadcast. It will be archived there on their webpage for you to watch anytime. But anyway, in conclusion, before I sign off, I just want to say that even though we lost those games tonight, I'm pretty pleased, especially by the way the girls played. Boys were a little too sloppy at times. They did play hard, and I like that they didn't give up. Because when they were down by 9 about midway through the fourth quarter, I really thought that they were going to lose their confidence and just play the rest of the game like they were just resigned that they were going to lose. But I really liked the fight that they showed, even though they came up a point short. It was a courageous comeback that we should all be proud of. And so, that really, and the fact that they wanted the win that much, it really says a lot about the heart of these kids. Now they just need to polish up what went wrong tonight. And then the girls, again, if they keep on improving the ball handling's come a very long way. They still have some strides to overcome in that area, but once, I've been saying for weeks, once they get the ball handling taken care of, everything else will fall into place. And I think that was largely proven tonight. The fact that we had a decent ball handling game, and we only lost to the number 10 team in our class by 5. So. Certainly, it was certainly a lot for us to be proud of tonight, even in defeat. And now we got some moral victories tonight. So now hopefully we'll get some real victories very soon, and that hopefully that momentum will carry on into the playoffs. And I still think a lot about next season when especially the girls, but I think also to some extent the boys are going to be. Improved, but I still think that there are a lot of good times to be had here in the 2018-2019 season as well, and I'm really looking forward to experiencing that and bringing it to you. And however, I will say that Monday, well, as of now, I am on an 11-game losing streak as a commentator. I really want to get that win Monday. So, I have mixed feelings about the postponement. I think it's probably best. I mean, you might as well go ahead and do it now, rather than, since it's likely we're going to get a lot of snow. You might as well do it now since we're likely to get a lot of snow rather than waiting until, making us check, the Twitter feed early tomorrow morning and keep checking back for it. And to give us all time to prepare for Monday. And plus, it gives us 3 days of rest. I mean, it meant that we had the luxury of burning everything in the tank tonight and still being fresh for the game on Monday. So, otherwise we would have been playing a team, we would have been playing on less than 24 hours rest. And that's just not a good thing. I remember last year, because of the snow out, the Cloverdale game being snowed out twice, we ended up having to play 3 days in a row. And after we beat Cloverdale on the first night in double overtime, we just didn't have much in the tank left for South Putnam on Friday and Plainfield on Saturday. Those were painful games to commentate. So, anyway, we're going to be playing on 3 days rest on Monday. So hopefully the girls will get a good day of practice tomorrow. Rest all of Sunday, and then come, ready to kick some major donkey on Monday into that 8-game winning streak and into that 8-game losing streak, and keep on building the momentum that they started tonight. So once again, your final scores here tonight at Clayton: first in the girls game, Cloverdale 65, Cascade 59, and then in the boys game, Cloverdale 53, Cascade 52. On the girls' side, the Lady Cadets the Lady Clovers rise to 18-3, while the Lady Cadets fall to 3-14, and then on the boys' side, the Clovers climb to 4-9, while the Cadets drop to 3-10. Well, this concludes our broadcast. As always, thank you so much for joining me, and I cordially invite you to do so again Monday at the special start time of 5:45, since there will be no JV game, as your Cascade Lady Cadets play the Cecina Lady Crusaders in the makeup of the game postponed from tomorrow, and then for our next boys game 2 weeks from tonight at 7:15 p.m. for the pregame show, as Cascade will play its WIC crossover opponent. Until we meet again, for audiosportsonline.com, this is Lec Zorn reminding you, there is a difference only you can make.